Why is it powerful? First, it starts with the engine, so the rear engine layout. First time that we do that at the Can-Am in sport segment. So the biggest benefit of that, it gives a perfect balance in between front and rear. We've got 44% of the weight at the front and 56 at the back. So the sweet spot is roughly 45-55, so we're dead on. So you've seen that. You really feel that the vehicle is really well balanced. So the engine, 900cc, turbocharged, intercooled. And the big thing about the turbo, the first time that Rotax designed in-house turbo, so which is fully integrated with this engine. And what I mean by fully integrated is the fact that we really put it as close as possible to the engine. It's even part of the exhaust manifold. So what it means is you reduce the pressure drop, you reduce the lag, so you've got the direct answer when you push on the throttle. And it works also in combination with this transmission that we call the QRSX, Quick Response System, with the next signature. So everything is bigger, the six-roller driven, the six-roller drive. We've got longer rider and sticker belt. We've got fins on the pulleys, and everything actually accelerates the airflow inside the CVT. And so that will reduce the temperature inside the CVT by 20% versus the previous generation of Maverick. So it's quite impressive, and to be honest, during the test session we had absolutely no issue with the belt, and we'll even communicate on one full season with the belt, which is roughly 2,000 kilometers. Okay, that's quite cool. Should you need to change the belt, this is also the good news. As I said, it's a rear engine layout, so it just takes 11 bolts to remove, 15 minutes, and you're done. So super easy to do. Okay? So that's cover powerful, and perhaps yes, a last detail, it's a gear-on-gear transmission, so directly connected to the wheels, so you have less loss of energy to convert this power into the wheels, and of course no maintenance because it's a gear-on-gear. I need to go fast. Second pillar, which is precise. So the first thing about precision is the TTX, torsional trailing arm X signature. So you see a big trailing arm, right there, and 3 links at the rear. So just as a reminder, the competition has whether 3 links or 5 links. We came out with this geometry because we've got a full control of the wheel toe and the bump steer. There is less than 1 degree variation in the travel of the wheel from the top to the bottom. So meaning you know exactly where your wheels are, so you remain in control, whatever the position of the wheels and whatever the terrain and the situation. So it's quite super cool. And it's super light also because everything is hollow and still really rigid. It works with great Fox shocks. We just took the best of the industry. So the base package starts with a 2.5-inch body on shocks with the QS3. So medium mix and man adjustment and compression. On the XDX package, we have the 2.5, but this time with RC2, so dual speed, rebound and compression. And those two guys, the base and the XDS, 20-inch of travel at the rear, and also 20-inch at the front. And on the big one, the XRS, so this time it's a 3-inch body at the rear, so biggest one, and a bypass. So you really do optimize the performance of the shock, and 24-inch of suspension at the rear and 22 at the front.
What about this one?
This one is a 2020 because this one is the next year. Okay. Working also with the shocks and still building on the notion of precision is the chassis itself. So what we did basically is we used a really high-end steel that we call the DP980, and this DP980 has huge properties. It's much more rigid than traditional steel, and at the same time it's much more lighter. So we are 53% more rigid in torsion than an XP Turbo, for instance. 53%. At the same time, we're 20% lighter. Okay. So just to talk about the weight, we reduce, for instance, the diameter of the cage is now 1.85 inch. Okay, meaning that you can put less material and still having more rigidity. Talking about rigidity, the cage is fully welded with the chassis. You have the same material, which ensure an additional rigidity. Should you have the need to change the cage, because it can happen, unfortunately, we have a 4 service point, so 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not really well visible here, but actually you've got a metal sheet here. You cut the cage at the place of the metal sheet, and you have 4 holes. And our accessory department is selling a cage in the accessory that you can bolt here. And this cage is still waterproof, so it's quite cool. Okay. Last thing about precision is the confidence inspired by the wheelbase. So we expanded the wheelbase by 12 inch versus the main competitor. We are now at 102 inch, showing a lot of confidence, specifically at high speed. So far so good? Well, last thing about defiance, so Maverick X3 is really defiant. It starts with the seating position. For the first time in the industry, we offer a low seating position, meaning we minimize the distance between the bottom of the seat and the chassis. But without compromising the ground clearance, because on the XRS we've got 15 inch of ground clearance, a true 15 inch, and on the base of the XDS 14. So another industry-leading figure. Okay. This seat's the Ergo Print seat, so just like you know, it's the same suppliers in Ferrari. So we leverage his know-how and we put it into the off-road environment. It's a one-piece molded seat, so super rigid. Inside the cockpit, so we have this concept of the Ergo Lock cockpit, meaning that everything is at the right position, everything is here to perform, and you really feel encapsulated into the unit, and I'm sure you have experienced that. So you encapsulate it because your feet are really blocked with the vehicle. You feel the vehicle every move, so you can react accordingly. The seat maintains your hips perfectly. And for the drivers, so of course you have the steering wheel, and for the passengers, the grab bars, but that falls naturally under your arm. Okay, it's not a metal bar in front of you. It's really big handles that fall. Steering wheel, so a smaller diameter, a new multi-door also, which ensures additional grip. But more importantly, it has a direct connection with the wheel because it takes only 1.5 turn from lock to lock. I'm sure you've noticed that, but a small input on the steering, you've got a direct response on the steering, on the wheel, sorry. Can-Am DNA intensified, of course, on this one. It's a new generation of Can-Am design. It's enhanced lighting, for instance, so LED light at the front, LED light at the rear, LED signature. The cool thing about those lights is not only it increases the lighting output, but also you reduce the electrical consumption by 80%. So what it means for the customers is you have this power available for additional accessories, and we know those guys that love LED bars, they love sound system. So with a 650 Magneto, you can have.